STIPE here today, and I'm sorry it took so long to come back with another video. A lot has been going on with me and I've been really busy, so fortunately just haven't had some time to upload videos and do videos both. Plus the weather hasn't been so good here up in Canada. In our area, actually all of North America got hit with some sort of a storm, whether you got hit with rain, freezing rain, snow, wind, cold. You got hit with, every section kind of got hit with something different. So anyways, gonna get right into this video. Today I'm gonna be talking about the JL Wranglers in particular. Again, I like doing topics on this Jeep because there's a lot of controversial topics that I hear about it and a lot of controversial thoughts about it. So today's video is gonna be on, is it really a good buy? Is the JL a good buy like the JK was? And the reason why I'm gonna be talking about this is because yes, I've had videos where I've kind of bashed the JL about things that I wasn't very fond about, and I've talked about how great they are and why I think the design of them is very revolutionary and what Jeep has come to be now. So I'm going to kind of mash all of those thoughts together, and what we're going to do is we're going to come up with kind of a solution on whether is this Wrangler going to be a good buy. So we're going to get right into that video, guys. Stick around and let's get into it. So as I was saying, yes, the Wrangler is a good buy still. In my opinion, it's still a very good buy. Even though the price tag of it has gone up, chances are FCA is going to raise the price even higher in the next couple of years. All vehicles are going up in price. The JL, or sorry, Wranglers in general have seen a huge price increase. So I wouldn't be surprised if the JL went up in price. Again, it's very common for vehicles to go up. So why won't the JL, even after all of the history it's had, the Wrangler has been going up in price? The growing popularity of the vehicle helps it a lot. It being a very capable and probably the most capable 4x4 vehicle right now you can buy is a huge advantage to it. There's nothing in its class that can compete with it. A lot of comments I get, oh, the 4Runner's, you know, this much cheaper, it holds its value better, you know, all this stuff, and why they rather buy a 4Runner. That's great. If you want to buy a 4Runner, that's fine. I have no complaints with the 4Runners. I actually like them. I think they're great vehicles, but it still doesn't look like a Jeep. Just to kind of make a point, all the time when I tell, because, you know, people who don't know about product, you tell them, oh, you work for Chrysler. So I tell people, you know, hey, I work for Chrysler, this and that, or FCA, and they're like, what's that? So I go, well, I work with, you know, Dodge. Some people know Dodge is a little more popular than Chrysler, the name is. And then you go Jeep, and they're like, oh, that's so cool. Oh yeah, Jeep's been my freaking dream car always, and yeah. It happens all the freaking time. They're always like, do you get to drive them and stuff? And I'm like, yeah, of course. So that's how it always is. Nobody freaking knows about any other product that Chrysler sells. Okay, Ram's kind of a little more popular now, but you say the word Jeep and everyone's eyes just light up, and the first thing they think of is these JL Wranglers, or Wranglers in general. That's the first thing that you think of when you hear Jeep, especially as someone who's not a very big car person. So that's the difference between a 4Runner or any Toyota like the Tacoma that a lot of people also comment on there, or the Colorado DR2 that everyone talks about as well. That's the difference, is everyone knows what a freaking Jeep is, okay? A Jeep is a Jeep. It's the off-road vehicle. It's that boxy looking car that everyone loves, and that's the difference of what singles it out from everything else, and that's why it stands alone in its own class, in my personal opinion. Now, yes, there are drawbacks to the JL. The price increase does hurt it. Now, what I mean by that is the vehicle will show a little higher depreciation percentage than the JK did, and that's just because there's a little more room for it to move now. But if you look overall, generally these Wranglers are going to hold their value, and even if the Wrangler isn't as good or isn't as reliable, I think it will still hold its value no matter what, due to the fact that it's just now it's kind of a pattern. Same with the 4Runners, it's the same thing. Is if that vehicle was always known for holding its value fairly well, just like pickup trucks are, most of them, it's going to continue that trend. It's just a trend that you see, and as long as a Jeep is around, or the Jeep Wranglers around, I don't see that trend ever changing really with them. Now, like I said, the percentage of depreciation might get a little worse now in the JLs just because they have a little bit more room to move. But overall, it's a good buy if you want to finance one of these vehicles. Now, leasing, I get this question all the time. I leased one for a great payment, and yes, sometimes you can actually get a very, very good residual on a JL Wrangler or on a Wrangler in general, just because they do hold their value so well. So the residual is high and your payments are pretty low. So if you want to go that route, it's not a bad way to go, just if you are payment cautious and that's what you're focusing on. But I'm telling you right now that probably for that, let's say 60 or 48 month lease, if you were to finance the vehicle for, let's say, 84 months, you probably actually end up having equity in the vehicle down the road. And here in Canada, you can finance 96. I don't know in the US if you can, but you'll actually have some equity just because the vehicle, after 48 months of financing that vehicle, you will probably have equity in the vehicle and you'll probably make some money, as opposed to the lease. You'll just give them all the money. You'll probably have to put a down payment down too, and you'll lose all of that money, unless if you want to buy out the vehicle, then that's different, of course. But most people don't. Most people will just hop into a new lease. So that's kind of my opinion on the finance and lease thing on the JLs, just in a short spiel. You can get kind of in a bigger picture in that and kind of go on more in depthly. Like I said, it's not a bad option to go either way, but I would personally go with a finance. And most cars I would go with a finance. I don't believe in the leasing really. I mean, that's just my opinion on that whole topic. But another thing that I wanted to touch on is all the recalls that JL has been getting and all of the negative feedback. People are talking about, oh, I'm having this problem with my JL and this and that. At the end of the day, it's just a new vehicle. It's still, you know, it's coming off a first year model now. Now they're going to start to work out some of the things they've already started to. Obviously, there was the weld recall, which was a pretty nasty recall to have. That's never a good recall to have, something so dangerous like that. So personally, that to me wasn't the greatest thing for the Jeep Wrangler name. That hurt it because it did go viral. That I did a video on that as well, and I got a lot of feedback on the whole bad weld recall thing, and people were like, you know, they're just losing their quality and this and that. At the end of the day, here, come over here, I'm going to show you something. This JL door, like the handle on the JK, you used to be, if you press it, if you own a JK, do this. Go on your door handle and press it. You'll see you can actually move the metal on it, because they're thin. The metal's thin. This one's not so bad actually. The JLs aren't so bad, but the JKs were very thin in my opinion. Like the Jeep Wrangler was never a high quality vehicle. It wasn't. It was made to go off-roading, and that's the thing that a lot of people forget, is all these people want to daily drive this vehicle, but this vehicle was never intended to be a daily driver originally. And now, yes, they're focusing more on making it fuel efficient, making it a better daily driver. And that's the thing about it, is it's not, at the end of the day, that's not what Jeep stands for. That's not what people know Jeep for. It was always the off-road 4x4 vehicle, and for some reason everyone just keeps resorting back to that. So unfortunately, that's one of the hugest problems. I think people don't have your expectations to think that this is going to be a great daily vehicle and all of that. They are. I would love to have a Jeep Wrangler as a daily vehicle. I had a JK as a daily vehicle. It was a stick. I just didn't like it because it was stick. It was a lot of fun when I went off-roading, but to drive it every day was a little bit of a pain. But you get an automatic, especially now with the 8-speed, the little adjustments in aerodynamics, the car is actually pretty good on gas. It's not that bad. So like I said, they're working on making it a better daily drivable vehicle, but it still was never intended to be a daily driver. That's not the point of the Jeep Wrangler. People need to get that out of their heads. That's why you can't compare it to the Toyota 4Runner or to the Tacomas or the Colorados or any other off-road vehicles, because at the end of the day, those are more off-road specific vehicles than those are more on-road daily drivable vehicles than the Jeep Wrangler is. It's just the way it's going to always be. And that's my opinion today, guys. Please make sure to subscribe to the channel. I'll be back with more videos. I did go to the Detroit Auto Show, so I do want to post a couple videos on my opinion on some of the things, like the new Shelby, the new Supra, and a couple of other things that I saw there. Of course, some Mopar stuff, which I'm going to get into. But that's my opinion for today, guys. Thanks for watching the video, and I'll be back with more videos as usual. Thanks.